Hello, friends and clients of JLW Immigration Law Group. I am Jennifer Walker Gates, board certified immigration attorney, and here today in this video to provide information as best as possible for the immigrant community to help clarify confusion, reduce anxiety, um, feel more secure in your status and your immigration journey in the United States. Today, we're going to be talking about the relationship between, this is a question that has come up a lot, the relationship between your green card, your lawful permanent resident status, and your ability to work and travel, okay? Because those things all go together. When somebody has a residency, when someone is a resident and has a green card, those things go together. And we are going to I'm just going to clarify some confusion that is clearly out there based on some questions that I'm getting. Before I jump into that, I did want to just take a brief moment. We had a very tragic shooting this morning at a facility, an ICE detention facility in Dallas, as well as a tragic death yesterday afternoon involving a detainee, an ICE detainee who had been in the United States with Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA. And basically, the cruelty and violence that is sort of surrounding the immigration system right now is very disheartening, very unnecessary. And whether we are in favor of detaining and removing immigrants from the United States or we are against it, we as advocates and immigrant advocates cannot afford to add to the level of suffering, violence, and cruelty that exists already in the immigration system. So although I understand people's frustrations and anger about what is happening with our immigration system right now, violence is only going to add to the problems and add to the difficulties. It's not ever going to solve anything. Now, I cannot pretend to know exactly all the details about the shooter, the motivations of the shooter, etc. I have seen, a little bit of news reporting about it, but it's still very early, so we're not sure yet. My hope and prayer is that the immigration system as a whole will evolve into something that is truly humane, that truly respects and honors the dignity of every human being that comes into contact with it, no matter where that person is from or what they're like or even what they've done. Human beings make terrible decisions sometimes, and we're still human, and we still deserve to be treated with justice and compassion. And I really hope to see more of those values emerge within the immigration system in the United States as guiding principles. In the meantime, I will be lighting a candle for all the families who are in grief and in anguish right now, whether that's because someone has shot and killed their loved one, their provider, their son, daughter, father, mother, brother, sister, or whether it's because their loved ones, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, brothers, sisters are caught up inside the detention system. There is too much suffering and too much anguish happening around our immigration system right now. And that is largely the result of policies of people in power, and those of us who are on the outside cannot afford to contribute more to that. So, so please, if you're angry about the immigration system, please manage the anger in nonviolent ways and channel it into a positive action toward something better, like the Dignity Act, for example. There has been a call blitz going on in support of the Dignity Act. That is something we can all participate in, and whether we see immediate results or not, it is something we ourselves can control and we ourselves can feel okay about. So that is my comment for today on headlines. Typically, I prefer to focus on educational material in this channel because education is power. People who are going through this system need good, clear, reliable information that is possible to validate and possible to rely on so that you feel less confused, less uncertain, and more calm and steady as you move forward in your immigration journey. So today we're going to be talking about what it means when you have a green card that is expired. Do you still have the right to travel? Do you still have the right to work? And in short, the answer is yes. Before I get further into that, I want to take my usual moment to ask for share, subscribe, and comment. This is important information for people to have. Please, if you know anyone who can benefit from the information that we share on this channel, share it with them. Subscribe to the channel, leave us comments and questions. We are happy to respond to those. Do so carefully, do so safely, but don't hesitate to ask for help if you need it, to ask for clarification if you need it. We are always grateful to be able to provide clarity and support for whoever is dealing with this system, whether you are a client of ours or of another attorney, or if you are going through this process without an attorney, we're here to help. So, okay, so back to the green card question, the work authorization and the travel authorization question. So a lot of clients who have had their green card for almost 10 years find that, oh my goodness, my card's about to expire and I haven't filed to renew it yet. The renewal timeline, if you have a resident card and you need to renew it, it can take a while. I believe published processing times right now are a couple of years long or more. In reality, we see renewals happening quite a bit faster than that in many cases. However, you never know. That is outside of our control. The amount of time that immigration takes to make a decision on a renewal for our green card and send us the new green card, we don't get to pick. We don't get to just to control that. What happens when you file for a renewed green card is that you get a letter in response from USCIS indicating that your green card has been extended automatically. By filing that renewal, your green card has been automatically extended for a couple of years. That's great. You can use that to show that you have permission to travel and you have permission to work. But the truth is that permanent residency, which is represented by that green card, contains within it the right to work and the right to travel. And permanent residency and all of the rights that it contains cannot be taken away just because the card is expired. The rights don't go away. It's just that you need to be able to prove what your rights are, correct? So if your card is expired and you don't have a letter to go with it to prove that you have the right to travel and that you have the right to work, then it becomes a little more difficult if you need those things to be able to do them. But again, it's not impossible. Permanent resident status, that I think my internet is a little choppy. Permanent resident status is something that remains intact all the way unless and until a judge removes the status from you. In other words, orders your permanent resident status revoked because you are being deported. And that really typically only happens to individuals who are permanent residents and then commit a serious crime. Or even not so serious. If they commit the crime within 5 years of becoming a resident, if you commit a crime, you can be subject to deportation for something that isn't as serious as you might think, something like theft, things like that. So obviously, most immigrants don't have problems with criminal issues, because what statistics are very clearly showing is that immigrants commit crimes at much lower rates than native-born U.S. citizens in the United States. I know that to be true just based on having worked with the immigrant community for 20 years. However, the statistics bear it out as well. So for most people, you're going to maintain your green card. Once you get your green card, you're going to have it for the rest of your life or until you become a citizen. And once you become a citizen, you turn in your green card, and then you have always the right to travel and the right to work. Again, you just need the proof. You need the document to prove what your rights are. But no one takes away your citizenship just because your passport expires. And the same is true with the green card. You're still a permanent resident. It's just you don't have a valid document to prove what your rights are. And so that's the purpose of making sure you file for that renewal timely, so that you don't ever have a lapse in your ability to prove what your rights are, that you are a permanent resident, you have the right to travel, you have the right to work. Those things go with permanent resident status. So I hope that has clarified that question. These things are not necessarily true with other types of immigration status. So if you have, for example, a tourist visa, and you get a document saying you can stay for 90 days in the United States with your tourist visa, if you violate that by staying 1 day longer, the tourist visa pretty much goes away. And the rights that you had as a tourist to come and go into and outside the United States are very badly compromised if you violate and overstay your document, okay? So the rights that come with having permanent resident status, that's why they call it permanent. It is permanent until a judge orders otherwise. And temporary visas are very much more subject to being canceled or invalidated with one tiny violation. So I hope that clarifies. Okay. I have a question regarding green card renewal. It took about 15 days requesting the replacement to getting a receipt in the US mail. Okay, perfect. This is a great point. So apologies, someone's sending me messages and they keep popping up. The mailing, the form that you need to file when you renew your green card is called the I-90. And this is really important. If you have a 10-year green card that you need to renew, the form is I-90. If you have a 2-year green card that you need to get extended to the 10-year green card, that form is I-751. And those things can get mixed up. And I've seen people who need to file the 751 file the I-90 instead, and that is going to create a bunch of problems. So make sure that you're filing the right one. But the I-90 can be filed online now through uscis.gov through an online account. And if you file it that way, your receipt is instantaneous. As soon as you pay the filing fee and submit the case, you can kind of refresh your browser page, and in your online account, in the notices section, you should be able to find the receipt notice, download it, print it out, and then you have what you need to show your rights as a permanent resident. So I highly recommend filing online if you can. If that isn't going to work for you, you can file I-90 through the US Postal Service. And just like we're seeing from our questioner here, the receipt verifying your rights and your status as a lawful permanent resident will take a couple of weeks to arrive back to you in the US mail. If you are filing online, you will get in your online account an instantaneous notice as well as a receipt sent through the mail. You will get both. And so that may not last forever. At some point, people who file online may no longer receive documents in the mail also. But as of right now, if you do file your green card renewal online, you will get an instantaneous notice inside your USCIS account, as well as a mailed receipt through US Postal Service. So thank you very much for that feedback, for that participation in this discussion. We are seeing the renewal times for I-90s dramatically improved over where they were just a couple of years ago. For a while, we were seeing green card renewals taking a very long time. And USCIS updated that receipt notice letter to say, okay, your green card is extended for 12 months. Then it was 24 months. Then it was 48 months. And I think at this point, it's 48 months. They were concerned about people losing their proof of their rights and their status because their green card would be expired and the letter that they got would be expired because their green card renewals were taking so long. Now we're seeing the opposite. You get a letter that says your green card is extended for 48 months, and then just a couple of months later, you get your new card. This is a trend we're very happy to see. Hopefully that will continue and remain the case. By and large, in spite of a lot of very troubling rhetoric, a lot of very troubling news, what is happening at USCIS and at the immigrant visa appointments for our clients tends to be very much the same. It is the officers are by and large following the law. By and large, they are being respectful. By and large, individuals are not being detained at these appointments. They're not being unlawfully refused or denied their applications for benefits. There are some changes. However, green card renewals are one thing that seem to be moving efficiently and more efficiently all the time. So we're very grateful and happy to see that. If you have a green card that is going to expire and you have any concerns about your ability to renew the card, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. If you have had any kind of arrest or any kind of prolonged absence from the United States or anything else in your case that is raising concerns for you about the safety and the your ability to file the renewal and get it approved, please do not hesitate to reach out. It is worth the investment. Get a consultation from a trusted professional, especially now. This is the time to take extra precautions, make sure everything is in good order, and that you are able to get what you need from the immigration system safely and securely. So with that, I'm going to sign off until next week. I hope everyone stays safe. Again, we ask that you reach out to us at our main phone number, which is 512-633-1785. Our team is fantastic and can help you get scheduled for an appointment. You can also go and schedule your own appointment at our website, which is jlw.law. There is a request appointment button on the website where you can select an appointment with me or either of my partners at a time that is convenient and answer a few questions, pay the consultation fee right there online. It's very quick and easy. So please don't hesitate to reach out. It is worth your future to get good information. So thank you, everyone. Please be safe. Take good care. And we'll see you next Wednesday at noon. Bye-bye.